So as most of you know, Apple has been releasing iPhones for a long period of time, and every single time a new iPhone comes out, we pretty much all, kind of hate on it at first or we all love it, but there wasn't really an iPhone that was super universally loved by a ton of people. But there was an iPhone that when it came out, it kind of hit a price tag that was just so interesting, and we didn't really see an iPhone like this before. I would say the iPhone 5C kind of tried to do something like this, but it really didn't work out. And the iPhone, in my opinion, that was pretty much universally loved by pretty much everyone was actually the first generation iPhone SE. Now, this may sound crazy, this wasn't the flagship of that time, but this was kind of the first time we saw a cheaper iPhone that actually wasn't really much cheaper than a lot of other iPhones that came out. It recycled the same design as the iPhone 5S, and it came out around the same time when the iPhone 6S and 6S Plus came out. So this thing came out in March of 2016, so it definitely didn't come out the same time as this device, but it wasn't supposed to be trying to replicate what the iPhone, 6S was trying to do. It was really just a smaller version of the iPhone 6S, and it really didn't skip out on too many different things. And Apple really hit the price tag on its head too, because it was much cheaper than an iPhone 6S. But on top of that, it had the same chipset as that device. It had pretty much the same back camera of that device. And I think for the most part, it was a very solid device for sure. And in some ways, it was better than the iPhone 6S. It, in my opinion, felt more premium than the iPhone 6S. And it was cheaper, had the same chipset, same amount of RAM as well. The really only disadvantage of this phone, I think, was probably the front-facing camera. I don't think it was the same quality as the iPhone 6S, but still a very good front-facing camera as well. Now, the funny thing is that when this phone came out, I think a lot of people weren't, super ecstatic about it, but they weren't mad about it either because it wasn't supposed to be replacing any iPhone. It wasn't a successor. And because there was no other iPhone to kind of compare it to, people were just really happy that Apple once again made a smaller iPhone for a majority of people out there. And because Apple wasn't trying to go and, reinvent the wheel, they pretty much just recycled all the parts they had before, they kind of made a hit on their hands. And I think this was probably one of the last times, they wanted to make somewhat of like a smaller device like this. Definitely after this, they kind of went ahead and focused in on, improving the build quality, making things faster, better cameras, all that stuff. But I think they did a really good job with this device, and this kind of signaled the rebirth of people who wanted smaller devices. That's pretty much the main thing this phone was going for. They wanted, the smaller device they saw that people wanted a smaller device, and they pretty much delivered. And I do think this was probably one of the smartest choices Apple has ever made, and I think they did a great job with it, and I think even now it still holds up extremely well. So this was probably one of the only iPhones I can think of that was pretty much universally loved by a ton of people, but I'd love to hear your guys' opinion on this. Do you guys agree, disagree? Let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.